This is a story about good intentions. It's about a simple choice made to solve a simple problem that spiraled into an absolute ecological nightmare for an entire continent. We're going to break down how just 102 animals became a plague.
Yeah, you're seeing that right. It started with 102 cane toads. Today, the best guess is that there are over 200 million of them in Australia. That's not a typo. It's a biological time bomb that has well and truly gone off.
And the damage, it's just staggering. We are talking about a full-on assault on the ecosystem. Native animals that have been there for millions of years are being wiped out. Whole food webs are just collapsing. And the invasion, it's still on the move, gaining ground every single day.
So, you have to be asking, how on earth did this happen? To really get it, we need to rewind the clock. Let's go all the way back to 1935, to a desperate industry and what seemed like a really smart idea at the time. Okay, so picture this. Early 20th century Australia. Sugarcane is everything. It's the lifeblood of the economy. But it was under attack. These tiny sugarcane beetles were just ripping through the crops, and farmers were desperate. This was before modern pesticides, so they needed another solution. So the plan they came up with was, on paper, brilliant. Let's use nature to fight nature. Find a predator that just loves to eat these beetles. And the cane toad seemed perfect. It had worked, kinda, in other places, so they did it. They brought in 102 of them from Hawaii, ready to set them loose. And here it is, the reason the entire plan was doomed from the start. This one slide shows you the whole blunder. See, the beetles lived way up high on the sugarcane stalks. But cane toads? They're ground animals. They hunt on the ground. The toads and the beetles would never even meet. The solution had absolutely zero chance of affecting the problem. So the plan to get rid of the beetles was a complete bust. But what it did succeed at, spectacularly, was unleashing the perfect invasive species into a land that was completely, totally unprepared for what was coming. You have to understand, the cane toad arrived with like a biological superweapon kit. First, its skin is packed with a poison that's deadly to any Australian predator that tries to eat it. Second, one female can lay up to 30,000 eggs at a time. And third, it landed in a paradise where there was nothing, absolutely nothing, that had evolved to hunt it. And this is exactly how that ecological bomb went off. The toads are introduced. Local predators, snakes, lizards, quolls, they see this new slow-moving thing and think, hey, easy meal. They bite it, and the poison kills them. Instantly. And just like that, the things that would normally control a population like this are gone. So the toad population was free to just explode. But believe it or not, the story gets even wilder. Because the disaster didn't just grow, it started to evolve. The invasion itself became a force of nature, literally breeding a faster, stronger super invader.
So for years, the toads spread at a pretty steady rate, about 10 kilometers a year. But then scientists started noticing something weird. The spread was getting faster. By the 2000s, they were covering up to 60 kilometers in a single year. The invasion was literally picking up speed.
And why? Well, it's evolution happening in real time, right in front of our eyes. Think about it. The toads at the very front of the invasion, the pioneers, were the ones that just happened to have slightly longer legs, a bit more stamina. They moved faster and farther. They met up with other fast toads, and their babies inherited those pioneer traits. The invasion was effectively self-selecting for a faster, stronger toad. So how in the world do you fight an enemy that is constantly evolving to be better and faster than you? The tough answer is, you don't. The whole history of trying to control the cane toad is just one long lesson in failure. For the first few decades, the strategy was basically to hope it would just go away. It didn't. Then came community groups doing physical culling and trapping, which barely made a dent. Now scientists are working on some pretty clever ideas, but everyone agrees on one thing. Getting rid of them completely is impossible. The goal isn't to win anymore, it's just to manage the damage. And that really brings us to the heart of it all. The cane toad isn't evil. It's just an animal that's incredibly good at surviving. It only became this unstoppable monster because we, humans, made a decision that dropped it into a perfect storm where it couldn't possibly fail. The problem wasn't the toad, it was the choice.
And that's what we're left with, right? This story of 102 toads is this massive, blinking warning sign that good intentions just aren't enough. It really makes you wonder, what seemingly smart, simple solutions are we putting into motion right now without having any idea what the consequences will be?